Hi, everyone, and welcome back for another episode of the Empowerment Exchange. And last week I was on location in Sundance, Utah, and it was a wonderful week. But I came home, and the following day I have a head cold and I have a little bit of bronchitis going on. So I apologize in advance if I cough my head off or if I have to stop and go back and say some things. But today I want to talk about, as an entrepreneur, secrets to getting things done. We're really going to focus on how to overcome distractions. So, here are some of the most common distractions I can tell you that I deal with, that I've had to set parameters around. And I'm sure that you have dealt with the same things. And if we don't set parameters around them, it's going to prevent us from being productive. And along with each of the distractions, I'm going to give you a solution, or at least kind of a tip that you can use to help you overcome the distractions in your business that can help you actually become more productive if you set the parameters, set the boundaries. And the first distraction we're going to talk about, can you guess it? Social media. I think there is a new study that says people are spending about 2 to 6 hours a day on their social media. And I can tell you, for me, it's a distraction, right? At the end of the day, after being on calls and a bunch of things, I'll start scrolling through stuff and catching up. And I've had to really set some parameters around my viewing of social media during the day. Now, one of the good things that I have going in my side of the world as an entrepreneur is I have people that manage those accounts for me. So somebody's in my Instagram, someone's in my Facebook, somebody works on my LinkedIn. So I have this natural this natural mindset of don't go in there, because I don't want anybody, I don't want to mess up anything for anybody else that's going on. But if you are just starting out, or if you are like me, where you find it really hard to delegate your social media, you really need to set some parameters around it. And I'm going to give you some solutions because I had to set them for myself. So now, I'm not as extreme as some people where they delete social media apps on their phones. That could be a little bit much, because then you have to re-download it every time, or you have to go into your desktop or whatever else. But there are apps like Rescue Time that can help you physically limit how much time that you're on social media. You can also turn off social media notifications. I've done this. And what then happens is I'll go in and there's like hundreds of notifications in there. And I'm like, okay, well, that's good, because that's probably hundreds of times that I would have been distracted throughout the course of the day. Or you could even set a social media schedule and allow yourself to use social media during certain times of the day. So I can tell you, if you're somebody who is just starting out in business and you're really trying to fine tune the product or the service that you're going to provide, you're trying to fine tune your audience and your avatar, if you could just limit your time on social media, it's all about time management. Just limit your time on social media. That is probably the biggest distraction that people will have to deal with. I know for myself, it definitely happens. And the next one is going to be your email. I have like 40,000 emails in my Gmail. And a lot of it is because I just don't go in there very often. I use it for like personal stuff or shopping or things like that. But on my Outlook, I have that little ding every time somebody sends me an email. And I used to go right in there and respond immediately. But that's not what my day looks like any longer, right? I have calls that are going on. I have things that I'm working on. And I'm really trying hard to set parameters around that. So in the morning when I first log in, from like 8 to 8:30, I'll check all my emails. I'll see if there's anything that's time sensitive that I have to get a hold of. And then in the afternoon between 2 and 3, I'll check it again. Now, if I know that I have something that I'm waiting on, I will keep an eye on that. But I've had to just turn off that little ding, ding, because it was a big distraction. So setting parameters around your social media, setting parameters around your email is huge. Get into the habit. It's all about habit building, and it's all about habit stacking. If you can just say, you know what, every day I'm going to go on to social media. I'm going to read my emails from 8 to 8:30, and then I'm going to check out my social media from 8:30 to 9, or you do it at the end of the day. Just start putting some time management around that. Because I can tell you, if you're an entrepreneur and you're trying to get stuff done and you have all of these distractions, you're going to end each day and say, oh my God, I had so many of these things I had to do and I didn't get done any of them. Why? Because there's been so many things that you've allowed to suck time out of your life. I'm speaking from experience. Just touching back on the email too, avoid responding to it as soon as it comes in. And, again, try to turn off the email notifications, maybe create an autoresponder. I do have a couple of clients, which I'm very proud of them. They have actual autoresponders. So when you send them an email, if it's not during a specific period of time, they'll just say, I'm currently actively, one of them says, I'm currently working with clients. I will get back to you as soon as I can, or within 24, 48 hours. So set an autoresponder. Whatever it is, try to get a handle on your emails, because between your social media and your emails, they're going to be very, very distracting. And then you throw in things like Slack, Skype, Messenger. Oh my gosh, right? Myself and my sons are the only part of our family who is in Georgia. So all of my other family's up north. So if they see a funny meme or they see a funny video, they automatically want to send it to Messenger. What do I want to do? I automatically want to go over and see what it is, right? So you have to, again, just be really cautious. Maybe turn off all of your notifications on your phone, close the apps, only respond to the messages at specific times, snooze any notifications on your desktop versions or even on the chat app itself. So as you can see the theme, there's a lot of things that can distract you from your day-to-day as an entrepreneur. And if you just set some parameters around them, it is going to make a significant difference in your life. Next thing I want to share with you is probably the hardest, maybe I would say the hardest thing to ignore, and that's text messages. I can tell you as a mom, I have 3 sons, and my husband, he travels at least once or twice a week for work. So anytime that text messages go off, I want to see what it is. I want to see who it is. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything that's terribly important. I want to make sure that everybody's safe, sound, all of that. But again, it's another time suck. Okay. So if you're going on first thing in the morning and you're checking out or if you're going on into Facebook and you're checking things here and there, and then you're going into email and you're reading things, and then, let me just respond to some of these funny memes or videos I've got on Messenger. Wait a second, let me catch up with all my text messages. You could have spent half the day. Right? Literally. I can tell you it took a long time for me to get some parameters around what I was doing, but I have a lot of work that has to get done. And one of the things that's very helpful for me is, that I do a to-do list the day before. So I know on the following day what I have to get done. So in my mind, I'm already setting up the mindset of tomorrow, I've got all these things I've got to check off my list. So once I started doing that, it was very easy for me to set boundaries on my text messages, on my social media, on my email, and on my messenger. And I think it's all about prioritizing what's important and really focusing on things that are going to generate revenue, especially if you're an entrepreneur or if you've been an entrepreneur for a while. I have been my own boss for a long time, 25, 26, 27, 28 years, right? So I have had to make all the changes necessary for myself to be successful. And it is very easy to do once you become disciplined in doing it. And once you understand that if I am doing social media messages or if I'm laughing at a video, is that generating revenue? If the answer is no, then you need to put parameters around the things that are not generating revenue and visibility for your company and what it is you have to offer. So put that phone in a drawer, take it out specific times of the day, disable maybe some of your text notifications on your phone or on your smartwatch. I can tell you I have my phone on silent all the time. You know why? Because my goofy dogs, one in particular, Thor, anytime he hears a sound that sounds like a Ring doorbell or sounds like a ding, he barks like an idiot. So I have to keep my phone on silent most of the time anyway. But if you really are struggling with that connectivity to the world that's in your hand, please put it away, set it aside, pull it out only specific times of the day. That will make a huge difference in your business. And the last one that I really want to talk to you about is phone calls. Now, for some people, this is pretty easy considering that if you look at my calendar, it's all blocked out for when I have Zoom calls or I have phone calls. And I have them specifically done at certain times. And I have a specific time frame in between each one of them that gives me time to, I don't know, get a drink or run to the restroom or whatever else, but it's all scheduled out. I even have blocks in my calendar that are just personal blocks. Like I know that if my husband's home, we maybe want to do lunch together. then I'll know that I'll be downstairs having lunch with my husband during this period of time. And that prevents people from just popping up into my schedule because I have it blocked off. I also have it set up in my online calendar through Calendly that you cannot come onto my calendar and book that day. Why? Because there may be other things during that course of that day that I have time set aside to either take care of existing clients or take care of some things that I haven't been able to get done. So making sure that you're really using your time management, proper time management, and prioritizing what it is that you're trying to get done in your business. And I can tell you, if you're just starting out, your focus needs to be on what am I going to sell? What am I going to provide? Who am I going to serve? How am I going to serve them? And what am I going to charge? And do the market research around that. If you have things like social media and text messages and emails and phone calls pulling you away, you may never get your business to launch. And you're going to be pointing fingers at everybody else, but it's actually your fault because you're not pulling in the reins on your life. And I'm just telling you that from experience. I have had to do it myself. My calendar has become my best friend, and making sure that I have specific times set aside to attend to the things that are important. I get a lot of clients through Instagram. I have a pretty good size following on Instagram, but I don't respond to every single thing that happens on Instagram. I will check it at the end of the day. I will check it in the beginning of the day, but I'm not right there constantly responding. Because think of the impression that gives somebody who is a potential client. If somebody thinks they can just hop on your schedule every day, or that you're just sitting there by your phone, they're going to really wonder if you're going to be distracted when you're working for them. Or they're going to really wonder, was her schedule so free that she can just sit around and read text messages and respond to emails and pick up phone calls just like on the whim? You don't want to give that perception to somebody who may want to do business with you. You also, as an entrepreneur, do not want to get pulled away for meaningless distractions. So set some parameters around your social media, your text messages, your phone calls, your emails. And if you do that, I can guarantee you that it'll be so much easier. And the last thing I want to leave you with, being a mom. Now, granted, my boys are all grown, but I have a lot of mompreneurs, something like that. I don't think we mom entrepreneurs, but I have a lot of moms who have a lot of side hustles, who have side gigs and things that they're trying to do at the same time of raising small children. So just try to find ways that you could prevent people from interrupting you throughout the course of your day. If you're working around your children's school schedule, you're working around their nap schedule, make sure that you have things set up specifically the way you want to. Now, obviously, you need to have flexibility, especially when children are involved. But if your kids are grown or they're in school or whatever it is that you need to do, just make sure if you're working, maybe close your office door, put your headphones on. When someone asks for a minute of your time, just say, hey, listen, kind of working on something right now. Can we put it on the calendar and circle back to it tomorrow? You are your own boss. You're trying to be your own boss. So I just want to make sure that you are putting your focus and your time and your energy on the things that are generating revenue. So just to recap today on how to overcome the distractions in your life, set some parameters around your social media, set some time limits around your messenger and your email and your text messages, and make sure people can't just willy-nilly hop on your phone call calendar, and be very protective of your time to prevent people from interrupting you. So I hope that you can implement some of these tips. I have certainly implemented them in my life. It's made a huge difference in my business. And focus on the things in your business that are generating revenue. And if there is anything that I can do to help you, by all means, please reach out to me, and I will see you on the next Empowerment Exchange. Goodbye, everyone.